Hello friends, so very good morning to all of you. In previous lecture, we have seen the various types of breakdown mechanisms that observed in solid dielectric materials. Like we have seen the intrinsic breakdown. Okay, in intrinsic breakdowns, there are two types. One is the electronic breakdown, and second is the avalanche breakdown. Then we have discussed about the electromechanical breakdown. Okay, then we have seen the thermal breakdown mechanisms that are observed in the solid dielectric materials. Afterwards, we have also seen the breakdown due to the chemical reactions and the electrochemical reactions. Okay, so chemical reactions are normally observed when your equipment is not in service, and the electrochemical reaction means the chemical deterioration of the solid dielectrics observed under the presence of electrical stresses. Today our agenda is to touch upon the how the breakdown takes place due to draining and tracking phenomena, and also we are touching upon the how the breakdown will takes place if the solid dielectric material contains internal defects. So let us start with the breakdown due to training and tracking. So when the solid materials are subjected to the electrical stresses over a longer time and gets fail, the two visible markings we can observe generally. One is the presence of conducting path across the surface of insulation, and second, a mechanism whereby the leakage current passes through the conducting path, finally leading to the formation of the spark. So these are the two visible markings which you can see through your eyes when the solid dielectric materials are subjected to the electrical stresses over a long time. Okay, so at the beginning of this lesson, we have discussed the we have discussed that the breakdown mechanisms involved in solid dielectric materials are classified into various categories depending upon the magnitude of the applied voltage, and second, the time of application of the voltage. Okay, so intrinsic breakdown and electromechanical breakdown may takes place when the solid dielectric materials are subjected to extremely higher stresses for a shorter time. Okay, but as the time goes up, the mechanisms are changing. Okay, so we cannot say that in case of solid dielectric materials, the breakdown is only taking place just because of these electromechanical failures and all. Okay, but all the processes are observed in the solid dielectric materials when they are subjected to electrical stresses over a longer time. Okay, we are not using the equipments for a shorter span. Okay, so by considering that fact, okay, so the dielectric material may get fail due to the presence of these conducting paths and everything. So when it is under the electrical stresses of lower value over a longer life of its operation, then when it gets fail and when you closely examine, you always observe these two markings. One is the presence of conducting path across the surface of insulation, and through these paths are generally indicates that the path from where or through which the leakage current is continuously passing. So what it exactly cause? It will cause the deterioration of the insulation. Okay, it will cause the deterioration of the insulation, and at the end it will get rupture. Okay, so let us assume this figure. So when the dielectric material, as you can see, these are the two electrodes. This is supposed to point electrode curvature, and this is the plate electrode, which are separated by this dielectric material which is solid in nature. So when this dielectric material lies between these two electrodes, there is a possibility of two different media. Okay, here you can see this is the one medium, okay, which is air, and second medium is the dielectric. Okay, so both we can consider they come in series. So ideally you can see that the space between the two electrodes consist of the two dissimilar dielectric materials, and the capacitances offered by these dielectric materials comes in series. Okay, so voltage, okay, the voltage V1, the voltage V1 across the air gap, this voltage, the voltage V1 across this air gap is given by this equation. V1 is equal to Vd1 upon d1 plus epsilon 1 upon epsilon 2 into d2, where d1 represents the separation of this air gap, okay, and d2 represents the thickness of the solid dielectric material. So equation you can derive by simply considering the potential divider rule. Okay, convert the capacitors capacitances into the capacitive reactances, then the circuitry, if suppose to I draw it, then it looks like this. Suppose I am representing them in terms of the resistances. Okay, so this is XC1 and this is XC2. Here I am giving the voltage, that is the input voltage. Okay, now my requirement is to measure the voltage across this C1, that is V1. Okay, so when I am applying potential divider rule and transforming this XC1 value and XC2 into 1 upon 2 pi FC1 and 1 upon 2 pi FC2, eventually at the end I will get this equation. Okay, so C1 and C2 you need to replace in terms of the epsilon 0 epsilon r A upon d, okay, and epsilon 0 epsilon r A upon 2. So here epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are the relative permittivities of air and solid dielectrics respectively. Okay, so tracking. So tracking means the formation of permanent conducting path resulting due to the carbonization of insulating material under the impact of electrical stress. Okay, and that is known as a tracking phenomena. So what exactly happens? Let us quickly show you the photo to understand about this tracking phenomena. Okay, here you can see there is one insulating material, okay, which is placed between the two electrode. One is the point electrode, as you can see on the top side. Okay, so this electrode is subjected to the high voltage stress and this is the grounded electrode. So now when I am giving the voltage, initially the surface of this insulating object, okay, normally consisting the moisture. So when I am giving the voltage, now let us see how the air gap is created actually. So when the voltage is applied, the moisture gets dried out. Okay, so because of the drying, the layer of the moisture gets removed and it will produce a minor air gap. Okay, it is produce the minor air gap. Okay, this is what you can see over here. Now when I am comparing the dielectric strength of the air with respect to the dielectric strength of solid dielectric, it is obviously very less. Okay, so the potential across this air gap becomes more than the breakdown voltage value. So as a result, the breakdown takes place. Okay, so first the breakdown is observed at the air gap at relatively low voltage, and the potential at which the breakdown of air gap takes place can be calculated or determined from this equation. Okay, so now the arc is present. So now what this arc is doing, this arc is doing, yes, you can see that that arc is doing the carbonization of this surface. Okay, so the presence of this carbon particles, you know that the carbon particles are conducting in nature. Okay, so now the material is solid. Okay, now as the material is solid, it will get carbonized, and once it carbonized, it will create a permanent conducting channel. So successively, as we have continuously applied the voltage, the current is continuously flowing. So this current will try to heat up the surrounding region of solid dielectric. So successively the process is repeated and extend the conduction. Okay, so here you can see there are lot many of the conduction paths has been developed when the solid dielectric gets completely fail. So these are the permanent conducting channels. In other way, you can say that the tracks has been formed through which the electrons are continuously passing when the voltage is applied. So these paths are continuous in nature. Okay, so the role of the electrons is to carbonize the solid structure. Okay, so successively this path gets extended towards the opposite side. So this phenomena either you can observe over the surface. Okay, if you break the insulation, inside the insulation you can also observe the formation of the conducting channel. So to observe this, you have to do microscopic study for the internal structures. Okay, so here you can see now one more phenomena you can observe, that the spreading of these conducting channels. Okay, so the spreading of the conducting channels is actually in the form of branches of tree. Okay, so this is known as a treeing phenomena. Okay, tracking and treeing both are observed. You can see the sparking channels are spread in the branches of tree. Okay, in the branches of tree. So this is called as a treeing phenomena. Okay, so generally the tip of the spark will erode the material, and this erosion will now generates the electrons and positive ions. Okay, so finally you observe that the chemical reactions, electrochemical reactions, so oxidation process, hydrolysis process, everything is operating simultaneously, and eventually lead to the complete failure of the solid dielectrics when these channels breathe the gap between the two electrodes. So tracking means the formation of the conducting path resulting due to the carbonization of insulating material under the impact of electrical stress. So usually the tracking occur at lower voltage of about 100 volts. To observe the tracking phenomena, the insulation is subjected to the low voltage stress over a long period. Okay, in laboratory, if suppose you want to observe this tracking phenomena, you have to stress your dielectric material with consecutively lower voltage, but for the over a longer time. So tracking is generally observed if the material is organic in nature, like paper and bakelite. How we can prevent this tracking? By increasing the creepage distance. Okay, the tracking can be prevented, but the presence of moisture will defeat the purpose. So if the surface of the dielectric material contains the moisture, then by increasing the creepage distance we cannot prevent these tracking phenomena. So to prevent this tracking phenomena, the surface of the dielectric material must be moisture free. Okay, so by increasing the creepage distance you can prevent the tracking. The treeing, the spreading of this sparking channel during the tracking in the form of branches of tree is known as a treeing phenomena. So treeing usually occurs due to, as I said, erosion of material at the tip of the spark at the higher voltages. This erosion would result in roughening of the surface and hence become a source of dirt and contamination. So what it causes? It causes the increased in electrical conductivity that could result either in the formation of conducting path that bridge the electrode or in mechanical failure of the dielectric. So how treeing can be prevented? By cleaning the surface, by drying the surface, by repairing the damaged surfaces, by repairing the damaged surfaces, or by having the clean environment. So materials chosen should be resistant to the tracking. So sometimes the moisture repellent greases are used to avoid this not only treeing phenomena but the tracking phenomena as well. Okay, but what it needs a frequent cleaning and re-greasing. So generally treeing phenomena observed in capacitors and cables. Okay, so now here you can see the two different types of treeing phenomena, okay, at different frequencies. So this is, as you can see, this is known as a branch shaped tree and this is known as bush shape of tree. Okay, you can observe that the bush tree has a larger diameter compared with the branch tree. So normally at lower frequencies you observe this branching phenomena, but as you increase the frequency of supply, the diameter or dimension of the uh, initiatory spark also increases. Okay, so this is a bushy kind of structure and this is filamentary kind of the structure. Okay, so now let us see the how the breakdown will takes place if the solid dielectric material contains voids or cavities. Okay, so generally insulation that we are considering is not perfectly designed. Okay, it always contains voids or cavities within the medium or even at the boundaries between the electrode and the dielectric. So these voids are generally filled with a medium of lower permittivity or lower dielectric strength, and the dielectric constant of the medium in void is also lower compared to the insulation that we are using. So what happens when the voltage is applied? The potential gradient in the void will becomes higher than the potential gradient across the dielectric material. So produces it will produces the breakdown of this void when the normal working voltage crosses or exceeds the limit of its breakdown value. Okay, so when the voltage across the cavity becomes more than its withstanding capacity, the breakdown will take place at the cavity or at the location of the weakest region. Okay, but this discharge is not bridging the gap between the two electrode, but it will occurs partially. So that is why it is known as a partial discharge. So life of the insulation with internal discharge depends upon the applied voltage and number of discharges. So ultimately, number of discharges, applied voltage, and the number of impurities, everything will govern the life of insulation when it contains the source of internal discharges. So as the name is given as internal, it means that the defects are present internally to the insulation structure. Okay, sometimes you can also observe the surface discharge as well. Okay, when the surface of the solid dielectric contains the moisture and everything or the dust particles. So breakdown by this process may occur in few days or it may take few years of time. So here I have shown you the one figure where the solid dielectric contains a void, as you can see, and if I am tracing its equivalent circuit, then it will look like this, okay, on the right hand side. So Cx and Cz both are representing the capacitors which come in series and offered by the healthy part of insulation. Cy represents the capacitance offered by this void or cavity. This Cb represents the equivalent capacitance offered by the healthy portion of insulators on two sides of the cavity. So you can see that Cb is the equivalent capacitance. Suppose this is Cb1 and Cb2. Okay, so the parallel combination of the Cb1 and Cb2 will give Cb. Okay, and this is Cx and this is Cz. So this is the equivalent circuit of the dielectric material with void. Okay, so you can see that the first discharge observed at Cy location, which is partially occurred. So C3, okay, that is Cb, parallel combinations of the two capacitors offered by the healthy portion of insulator on two sides of the cavity. This C2 represents the equivalent series capacitance offered by Cx and Cz, and this Cy is the cavity capacitor. So you can see that the potential across the cavity to incept the discharge is calculated from this formula. So this formula, you can see it is similar to the formula that you have observed in treeing tracking phenomena. Okay, so V1 can be calculated from this equation. So if we are considering D1, okay, D1 is very small as compared with D2. So D1 when compared with D2, it is eliminated. Okay, this D1 can be eliminated. So V1 is equal to V into epsilon R D1 upon D2, where D1 represents the thickness of the cavity and D2 represents the thickness of solid dielectric. So this figure B shows the equivalent capacitance, equivalent circuit of the insulation with void. Okay, so when you are performing the partial discharge test, you will see this kind of the wave shape. So V represents the applied input voltage. So now as you can see, the applied voltage is sinusoidal in nature. So as the voltage is increasing, the voltage across cavity, this one V1, the voltage across cavity also increases. Now suppose this is the limit at which the corona discharge breakdown of the cavity takes place. This Vi represents the inception voltage at which the breakdown of cavity takes place. So as you know that when the breakdown takes place, it will create a short circuit, and in short circuit condition the voltage will reduced and the current is increased. So over the scope you will get a current pulse which increases, and at the same time the voltage across cavity falls down. Okay, so the rate of decrease of this voltage is observed until the potential across the cavity becomes lower than the corona threshold value, which is represented by this Vc. Okay, now as the voltage is continuously applied, so again the charging of cavity will start. When the voltage across the cavity becomes lower than the threshold value, the cavity will again start to charge. So as a result, you can see the voltage across cavity builds up, whereas the current reduced to zero. Again, when the voltage across cavity becomes more than its withstanding capacity, the breakdown will take place. So voltage falls down and current increases. So same thing is also happening during this negative cycle as well. Okay, here you can see that the current has changed its polarity. Okay, so during positive cycle as well as during negative cycle, you will observe the activity of the internal discharge. So internal discharge, also called as partial discharge, and will have the same effect as freeing on the insulation. So when the breakdown takes place in the void, the electrons and positive ions are formulated. So these ions have a sufficient energy, these space charges, okay, these electrons and positive. So considering the electrons have sufficient energy, and then when they reach the surface of the void, they will break the chemical bonds. So in each discharge also there will be some amount of heat, okay, which is dissipated in the cavity, which carbonize the surface of the void and will cause the erosion of the material. The channels and pits, okay, so this will produce the channels and pits on the cavity surface and increase the electrical conduction, which further lead to the chemical degradation that would result in the active discharge product formed during the breakdown of the cavity. So all these effects acts simultaneously and result in gradual erosion of the material and consequently reduce the thickness of insulation, which leads to the breakdown. So here I can show you that how it will happens. This is the solid dielectrics with void. So initially this is the thickness, okay. Now at the time of prolonged application of the continuous voltage to the dielectric contains the internal defect or the voids, the all the effects, okay, like the breakdown at the void, okay, breakdown at the void, the liberated electrons have sufficient energy, so they will break the chemical bond, okay. The heat which is dissipated during the discharge activities will carbonize the surface, okay, so that will lead to the erosion. Then the formation of the channels and pit will improve the electrical conduction of the surface. Then it will cause the chemical degradation. So by considering all these processes at same time, over a longer operation or longer application of the voltage stress to the dielectric with voids, consequently it will increase the dimension of this cavity, and finally it will bridge the gap. So eventually at the end you can see there is only the air, and this dielectric material is divided into the two portions. Okay, so this is about the how the breakdown will takes place due to drilling and fracking, and how the breakdown will takes place due to the internal discharge activities. Thank you.